You want to dominate your lawn and return to being the Joneses this late summer, early fall? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do on my own lawn to make that happen. Now, for those of you guys who watch this channel, you know I'm always hammering on my grass. I'm always repairing it, but I'd say 80% of the time my lawn's looking like a golf course. So we need to get it back to that direction. Now, here's what we're currently dealing with. About 6-8 weeks ago, I had a massive problem with Pythium throughout my front lawn. That was caused by a humidity spike that came in my region, and I didn't catch it in time because I was out of town. And I've also had a problem where my Wi-Fi went out. Didn't understand that once I got the Wi-Fi back online, my controller to the sprinkler didn't come back on. So I accidentally dehydrated my lawn. And in that process, I was out of town, didn't realize that one of my robotic mowers had the same problem where it didn't reconnect to my router. It's a router issue, had nothing to do with the robotic mower. So my lawn grew out, then it randomly connected again and then scalped the entire lawn. So I've got scalp damage everywhere. And now I have a ton of just dead grass sitting on the cut. And I've got dead spots in my front lawn. And I've got a few in this section too, and I've got a few dead sections here, and needless to say, just a ton of dead grass throughout my bluegrass cut here in the back. So we're gonna go through my ABCs of getting your lawn back. Number one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how much water we have or are lacking in the lawn. Too much water can cause similar issues with fungus. Too little water is going to cause some more damages, especially my ryegrass where you can't really dehydrate. There's certain species of ryegrass, certain species of fescue that are just not drought tolerant whatsoever. So that means that the dead areas are not gonna grow back if you don't have a self-repairing type of grass. So step number one for me, I discovered that my lawn was dry. So I've been shoving the water back in the lawn the last 2 days. So my suggestion is get out there with soil probe or a screwdriver, measure the depth of water. You want to have about 6 to 8 inches in the soil. Now, step number two is once we get the water back in the soil, we want to promote some new healthy growth. Step number two is we need to get all this garbage off of the lawn, right? We need to get all this dead grass out of here. Now you got a couple of choices, and step number three is a spoiler. We're going to be causing more debris than step number two. So if you want to combine step number 2 and 3, that's fine. I like to use a dethatcher. The Sunjo dethatcher's absolutely my favorite thus far. The Ryobi wireless dethatcher is pretty awesome too. So I'm just going to dethatch over this to get as much debris off as I possibly can. Oh, hey, can you put Royce inside?
Yeah, just toss me the key.
Keys? Keys are old school. We have a DESLOC. DESLOC is a smart fingerprint deadbolt and the sponsor of our video.
This is the B200 and it is just this easy to use.
Now, I've been using smart fingerprint deadbolts for about 6 years now, and there's a lot that I absolutely love about the DESLOC. It is loaded with software features. You can lock and unlock your doors straight from the home page. You can create e-keys, passcodes, cards, fingerprints, set up reminders, and you can even make different administrators.
Installing the B200 is super easy and takes less than 15 minutes. Instructions are well written. The interior lock back cover comes with an adhesive for hands-free setup. Even the mounting screws are all separated and labeled properly. If you have any issues, you can use their 24-hour customer support via email or connect live using a live chat, their social media, or a simple call.
One of my favorite things is it's got 6 different ways to unlock this device. So whether you're technologically sound or you're old school, you can get a way in. You can use a keypad, your fingerprint, the application, Alexa, or even Google Assistant, a traditional key, or this IC card you can give out if you're on vacation to whomever you want, and boom, it is that fast and that easy to use. Now, if you're in the market for a smart fingerprint deadbolt, I would not hesitate to go with the DESLOC. In my opinion, it's got one of the most versatile softwares out there, and I've had a very good user experience. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of the video. Now, step number 3, which is what I was telling you before that you can combine, is I'm going to use what is called a Scarify. Now, there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing this. The Scarify is fantastic because it will dig slits into the soil. Now, over the summer, we're gonna get a lot of soil compaction, especially if you've had lack of water issues or if you've had a ton of kids walking all over the lawn. And I prefer to Scarify over doing lawn aeration. I find it's more easier on the grass and you're not disrupting the soil as much. But the primary issue about running the Scarifier is twofold. Number one, we're digging out thatch. So as the grass naturally grows, it's going to promote a certain amount of thatch growth. The second issue is this. I want to promote more lateral growth through the lawn. By thinning it out, especially if you have these bunching species of grass, their only job is to bunch outward. You're thinning through that and telling and giving it space, so it's going to do that. And third of all, it's going to add and allow the water to penetrate in the soil easier by digging these channels and grooves. And there is a final benefit of a little bit of lawn leveling. So if you're prone to a ton of earthworms coming through your lawn, this helps out a ton. Step number 4 is feeding the lawn, but our primary focus isn't necessarily fertilizer. My primary focus, especially being late summer, having a hot summer, is making sure that the water is entering into the soil. So we're gonna be using what's called a wetting agent. This is basically to break the surface tension of the soil, so the water, the mineral, the nutrients enter into the soil. The majority of the fertilizers that I prefer to use is a granular macronutrient fertilizer. So I'm going to focus on my usual from my soil test, which is a 10-0-10 or equivalent. And then my secondary issue is just getting a nice iron supplement. But that wetting agent, you can actually use Johnson & Johnson baby soap. You can use Dawn dish soap as well at 1 tablespoon per 1,000 square feet. And that can actually go down however you want. As long as you're getting 1 tablespoon per 1,000 square feet. Now, another product I absolutely love that I've used over the years is a product called Li700. It's a surfactant. It's a wetting agent as well. It works great in conjunction to iron. My favorite iron product over the years is called Rapture 404. So you can combine those together without having any problems on the lawn. But again, primary focus is soil health and making sure everything is entering back into the soil. Now, step number 5, which is my last step, it's going to be optional. We need to repair the areas that we're not confident are going to be coming back. So in layman's terms, if I have a spot that's above 3 inches wide, I'm going to be making some patch kits made with peat moss and grass seed. Just going to kind of scuff up the areas, throw the seed down, and then I've got to make for certain that those areas are going to receive a specific amount of water to stay damp at all times for the next 3 to 5 weeks to grow. Other than that, your option is to grab some sod, cut the pieces out into the same shapes, and you also need to make sure that those stay damp for a period of 2 to 3 weeks as they root back. Very, very simple product, but we need to go through and patch and repair the dysfunctional areas. All right, we got all 4 of my steps down. Step number 5, which we had talked about, was going to be making sure that we patch and repair these areas. However, in my lawn, I have a species of ryegrass that is going to kind of spread outward. So the only questionable area really is that one right here. I think ultimately it's going to be okay. One thing I absolutely love about ryegrass is its ability to bounce back and how fast it is. Normally with bluegrass, really not going to see too much movement for about 2 weeks, even fescue 2 weeks. However, my ryegrass, let's check it out. Man, 6 days later, my lawn's looking juicy. Oh my gosh. Dude, check this out. Look at this. Everywhere we go, all that dysfunction gone. And like I said, this is not reflective of most grass types. Ryegrass just bounces back so incredibly well. Just like always, guys, to show you the full truth here, I did have some problem spots like I told you I was going to have. These areas are fairly thin. Technically, I could overseed them, but with that perennial rye that I have, it'll grow back together. It's going to take about another probably month and a half. But I did sustain some fertilizer burn, if you guys were wondering what this was there. And then these 2 spots are also fertilizer burn. I'm doing some tests with some other chemicals right now. More videos to come. Well guys, this concludes my 5 easy steps for dominating this fall. Now these are synonymous with all grass types, but if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up down in the comments down below. You know I'd love to help you guys out. Until next time guys, Pest and Lawn Ginja. We're slaying lawns.